Hey, what's going on, social media family? Hope everybody's having a really good day. Super excited about life, everything that's going on. I just see so many people in life listening to God, moving forward with God, advancing with God. And I just see a lot of people that are living their life according to the scripture. I see so many marriages thriving. I see so many people parenting their kids and having phenomenal families, people moving from surviving to thriving, people who are stepping in to maybe being the first business owner in their family or being the first millionaire in their family or the first person in, ministry, whatever it may be. But I see so many people as the times and change and seasons are changing. I see people stepping up and I just love it. I love helping people. Okay. I want to tell you about something we got coming up. Now, we have revival weekends all the time in Texarkana, but we have one coming up May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. What's really cool about this is we're having something special on the 2nd, on that Friday night, for our mentoring family and the people who partner with JoJo Dawson Ministries. And then we're having something early Saturday morning for people who are in the mentoring program or a partner with JoJo Dawson Ministries. So it's going to be a really good time. And so I'm talking about mentoring today. That's what we're going to talk about. Everybody needs a good mentor. All right. If you need prayer for anything, go to the website, jojodawson.net. Also, if you want to know about any of our new e-courses we just released 3 in the last month. Also, if you want to know about our mentoring program, if you want to know about becoming a financial partner, whatever, if you need prayer, it's all right there. We offer prayer for everybody. Okay. It's all on the website. Let's get into this. Let's jump into this. And for the people watching live, I'm a little bit later today than usual. Somebody in our church, their dad passed away, and we had a visitation funeral today. So just good people, good people. When God puts good people in your life, love them well. God will place people in your life that you need to value your friendship. Let me just say this. When I was getting ready to walk in to the visitation, there were 4 people in our church that walked out, and it was 2 cities over. It wasn't in Texarkana, it was 2 cities over. And I saw 4 people in our church walk out of, and I said, wow, man, people in our church really showing up. And the grandson, he's 4 years old, of the gentleman that passed, he goes to our church. He walked up and said, wow, I think everybody in my church is here today. See, when you're around the right people, they will love you. They will support you. You gotta value the right relationships. Okay. So this is what we're going to jump into. Okay. That's what we're going to jump into. We're going to jump into mentoring today. Once again, if you need prayer, I love praying for people. Let me tell you one reason I love praying for people, because how many people have been sending us praise reports. I love seeing that. Okay. So let's jump into this. Mentors. Okay. I would not be where I am without a mentor. I remember years ago, I asked 4 people, Ron Lestrange, Jeremiah Johnson, Jennifer LeClaire, and Chris Mathis. I asked them about, who do you know that's a good mentor? They all mentioned one guy that they thought would be good for me. Reached out to him, jumped on a plane, flew to where he was at. If it was a drive, it was 16 hours away. Took a financial seed, sowed into their ministry, been running together ever since. I got different people that speak into my life. You need a mentor. Okay. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people, it may be your pastor, it may be your apostle, prophet. Now, if you're in business, you need a mentor in business. That's why a lot of people have internships. They, in ministry and in business, but you need someone to help you, to guide you, to lead you. All right. First scripture, Proverbs 15:22. Your plans fall apart right in front of you and will fail unless you get good advice. But if you first seek out counselors or mentors, you'll watch your plans succeed. That scripture, so plain. If you're going to do something great with your life, seek out counselors, mentors, pastors. Find out people who are the best of the best. I remember just all throughout my life, whenever I wanted to grow in something, I found the best of the best. And I would call around, hey, do you mentor? Do you help people? Do you train people? Do you speak into people's lives? I've done it in ministry. I've done it in business. I've done it in athletics when I was younger. Everything. I would always look for somebody. Marriage advice. I find people who have good marriages, and I seek out their advice. I remember one day, my wife, she was looking at somebody's social media, and she said, oh my goodness, this lady always seems so happy. This lady looks like she lives the best life in ministry and with her spouse and her kids. And she just looks like she is always living the best life. I messaged her husband and I told him what my wife said. He started laughing. I said, bro, what do you do? What are you doing to make your wife that happy? And he explained just the things that he does on a daily and weekly basis, and how he really takes care of his family. They're probably about 15 years older than us. And I remember one time Autumn and I got into business, and we found some very successful people in this business and asked questions. When I got into the housing business, I found successful men who had over 100 houses paid for, and I asked them what they do. I remember, I would find successful ministers and I would go ask them, how do you do this, in longevity? I remember I had Apostle Dutch Sheets preach for me one time, and I remember I said, Apostle Dutch, how do you have so much longevity? Like, what do you do? And he just explained his commitment to God and CC and he just explained it to me. And I said, okay, find mentors. All right. I had a guy call me. He got me out 2.5 years ago. Friend of mine, powerful, powerful minister. He just lost kind of everything. And I remember I called him one day and said, hey, man, just I love you. You know I do. We're friends, but I just see you kind of getting away a little bit. Oh, bro, man, I'm good. I'm booked. Man, everybody wants me to come preach. I'm like, I ain't worried about how much you're preaching. Man, money's good, finance is good. This is all. I'm like, listen, I'm talking about character, like who's speaking into your life? Pfft, ain't nobody speaking into my life, man. All this stuff. I'm like, okay. 6 months later, he tanked, gone, no more ministry, lost his family, everything. You need mentors in your life. What did I just read to you? Your plans will fall apart right in front of you unless you fail. If you fail to get good advice, but if you seek out counselors, mentors, your plans are going to succeed. Get people in your life. You've got to get people in your life. Like I had someone tell me one time, like, oh, I got a mentor. I said, when's the last time you talked to him? 3 months. You don't have a mentor. Mm-mm. You don't have a mentor. I'm in contact with my mentors. I'm in contact. I remember one time when I was younger, I had a mentor, and I talked to him every week. I was growing so fast in ministry. I was growing so fast, and just everything exploded with just all ministry exploded at once on me. And I just needed somebody to help me walk it out, steward it. He talked to me every week, walked me through the process. Okay, Proverbs 1:5. A wise man will hear and increase in learning. A wise man will hear and increase in learning. What are you increasing in? How are you learning? And who are you learning from? If a wise man will increase, he has to be getting his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from somebody. Who are you learning from? A man of understanding will acquire wise counsel. I've been in ministry for 30 years. I've seen a lot of people fall, but I've never really seen that many people fall who had wise counsel and allow that counsel to speak into their life. If you've got the right people speaking into your life, you will not fall and you will not fail. Go back to Proverbs 15:22. You know, if you have the right counselors and mentors, you will watch your plans succeed. I can tell you 3 men of God that have shifted my life. Let's go for it. 4 men of God who've shifted my life because they were my mentor. Now, as time goes on, you know, some people, they get older, and so your mentors will change. Some people have mentors for different things. You need a mentor. A wise person will hear and increase in learning, and a wise man of understanding will acquire wise counsel. Who are you receiving mentoring and counsel from? Okay. Proverbs 13:20. If you want to grow in wisdom, spend time with the wise. That's pretty good. I remember one day I was talking to some guys. These guys were best friends. And I said, man, you guys are best friends. You're always together, always talking. They, yeah, we're best friends, man. We're best friends, you know, and all this stuff. And I said, I've known all y'all for 3 years. Ain't none of y'all changed. Ain't none of y'all changed a lick. None of you. Because none of you will hang out with anybody smarter than yourself. If you want to grow in wisdom, spend time with the wise. I always try to surround myself with people smarter than me. A man of understanding, remember, acquires wise counsel. Proverbs 13:20, I read it in its entirety. If you want to grow in wisdom, you will spend time with the wise. Walk with the wicked, and you will eventually be just like them. You'll be just like them. We ain't got time to be just like them. We've got to grow in everything that God has for us. Hebrews 13:7. Don't forget the example of your spiritual leaders who have spoken God's message to you. Take a close look at how their lives ended, and follow them and follow the walk of faith that they walk. That's why a lot of people, they start right, but they don't finish right. That's what this scripture is saying. I've seen some people that, man, I respected them so much in ministry and life, and then I didn't. They started preaching a weird gospel, or they started veering away. Things started changing. But then I've seen people who, when they went to eternity, they were living the life right. They did it right. That's how we need to be. We need to be moving forward and advancing and hanging out with wise counsel, gleaning on wise counsel, and moving forward, okay? Proverbs 9:9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will still be wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase his learning. Man, we've got to be set apart to the things of God, moving forward in the things of God while we increase in learning. We have to learn. You need a mentor to guide you and lead you. I remember one time I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, and we were talking, and I said, Pastor, why do you always spend time with just the broken people? He said, well, I'm trying to help them, you know. He said, Joe, let me ask you a question. Why do you always spend time with people that are doing great? Like the pastor spent time with people who are always broken. Like I hate to say it like this, but the 100%, the people of the church, he spent 80% of his time on the bottom 20%. I spend 95% of my time on the top 10, 15%. Well, I'm an apostle, I'm not a pastor. I invest my life into builders, people who build. That's why our mentoring program is for people who want to build. You may want to build your spiritual walk with God. I do a lot of teaching on how to get closer to God. I teach people how to scale their business, reverse engineer their business, and grow massive kingdom businesses. I help people with ministry, how to grow successful ministries, grow people, develop people. And so we were talking about this, and these are some of the scriptures that I brought out. I said, well, Pastor, a wise person, if you invest in them, they will get wiser. They have learned how to fill up the hose in their bucket. A lot of people, they don't want the hose filled in their bucket, so when you pour in, it just runs out. They need you to constantly pour. But wise people are the ones that are constantly changing, the ones that are constantly growing into the things that God has called them to. Different types of people, okay? Different types of people. And what I encourage you to do today is, if you are looking for a mentor, find somebody. Locally, try to find the best church you can where they will help train you and equip you. Find a mentor. Find a mentor who will pour into you and watch your life shift, watch your life change, and watch things start to take off for you. Okay? Hope this helped today. Remember, if you need prayer for anything, never ever hesitate. Go to our website, jojo.dawson.net. Send us a prayer request. I'd love to pray for you. Anything you want to know, you can ask us about our mentoring program. You can become a monthly partner. We are believing for 1,000 monthly partners. We got our blogs on there. If you want to know about, we just released 3 e-courses within the last 30 days. It's all on there, okay? We're here to help people. And I tell people all the time, we're in your corner. So I love you guys. And wherever you're at, try to find the best local ministry you can. Find somebody to pour into your life. And like me, my 3 mentors aren't locally. They're around the nation. And find people to pour into your life. Find people to speak into your life. I had somebody come to me yesterday, just open and vulnerable, and said, here I am. And they poured out what was going on, laid hands on this young man, and just a breakthrough happened. Breakthrough happened. He said, now I can see my destiny again. Find people who love you and are ready to help you move forward in your God assignment. Okay. I love you guys, and I will see y'all tomorrow. It's going to be